Hey guys, this is Nifty Culture. I'm Nifty Mike. I'm here with Malachi. We're going to be talking about all the latest developments today and having some after work libations. So thanks for joining. It's been a crazy couple days with this pack drop, so we'll be talking about that a little bit. Apparently, there's a lot of whitelist action going on, potentially with some big misses for people that didn't get on some of them, and just lots of stuff. Malachi, what you got on your radar?
Man, first off, shout out to Ashley NFT and Tina Eisen who came on with us earlier today, and we finally got our Spotify going. So, for those that like the just the audio and not the video, which we're not the most attractive fellas, you can always tune in on our Spotify, and we'll have Apple podcast soon. You know, the most interesting thing for me right now is like this punks versus apes thing that's going on. That's like really detrimental to like the community just at large, right? Like when you think about the ideas that we have and we're going to make it and we're early and, good morning and everything else, it's like who cares? Like if you have one of 10,000, if you're lucky enough to have an ape, if you're lucky enough to have a punk, if you're lucky enough to have a cool cat or a gutter cat or anything else, you're damn lucky. And like, why would we tear down these other communities? Why can't we lift each other up? And like this negativity, this toxicity is bad. Like this is like the epitome of what destroys like cultures. And so for me, like that hot take right now is just like really disgusting. And I wanted to talk about it now so we can get past it and talk about the good stuff. But like apparently the punks have had a bad couple days. Some people fire sold a few punks, and I was like, oh wow, like 35 ETH. Do I sell everything but my ape and try and scrounge up enough money to get a punk? Because I firmly believe like the punks are going to go up. And so like I don't know. It's silly that people get upset about these types of things, and like it's not. We're bigger together. Like total supply is still really small if you think about how big like everything's going to be in a year or two. So like that's that's my first rough take is like there's no room for this negativity. Like let's all be bigger. Let's be better. Let's be, we started this to get away from the cliques and the clubs and everything else that existed in web 2 and the social media ideas. So it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. It's just like the BTC versus ETH thing. Like I talk a lot about, I love Ethereum, but you know, we're both at the forefront of technology, and one can't really be adopted without the other. Like just like with BTC and ETH, where if one of them fails, most likely both of them are failing, and if one of them succeeds, they'll both succeed. I kind of see apes and punks the exact same way. They're both um, premier nifties. Um, CryptoPunks inspired nifties and deserves respect on that alone. And same for, BTC inspired cryptocurrency in general. And so it should have a special place in everybody's heart. So, I mean, I think humans just naturally have a tendency to kind of group up and then kind of think that their group is better than other groups. But I think at the end of the day, like in order for crypto to be successful, we all have to work to, educate people outside the community on why crypto isn't a scam. Same for Nifties. In order for Nifties to be impactful long term, we all need to be reaching outside the community and, explaining to people why Nifties aren't just copy pasting JPEGs. So I think we're always in any group or any group of groups, you're always going to be stronger together. And so definitely like it's kind of fun to have some a little bit of rivalry, but don't take it too seriously. And also just remember at the end of the day, that person who owns an ape or that person who owns a punk is someone that you're not going to have to spend 3 hours beating your head against the wall explaining to them how a JPEG can have value. So
Flipping JPEGs. No, I agree. It's like, we say it all the time, a rising tide lifts all boats, right? And We're so early in this. Like, why do people get so hung up on this? And like, this is a concern that people have. You have a bunch of people like sounding like apes, and like they're the gutter cat gang got a lot of flack for the gang and that type of stuff early on, and the Bored Ape Yacht Club gets a little bit of flack for that as well. It's like, we this is like part of the challenge, is that like the there is a strong community that's built out of this, right? And I was talking earlier today to Ashley about like it's automatically more than a PFP. It's access to a community. It's access to a private community, no matter which NFT you own. And with that does come responsibility. And there's going to be good actors and there's going to be bad actors. If there's 10,000 people, like if you just take a sample size of good human beings and bad human beings and like try to take the macro and the micro and put it together, like not everyone in Bored Ape Yacht Club is an awesome person. Not everyone in World of Women is an awesome person. Not everyone in the CryptoPunks community is an awesome person. And so like the bad behavior by some is unfortunately has to be managed by the whole. But when the size and scope of these types of things kind of breaks out, it's just not a good look for either side. And once again, if there's 600,000 plus wallets that have ever been on OpenSea, and a total of 20,000 of the first versions of the CryptoPunks and the Apes, it gets really interesting really quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think just looking back, like even I'm on some. I'm not going to say which treasure hunt I'm on right now. It's not the pack one because that one apparently is or not started yet. Although I got super hyped, but I'm terrible at these treasure hunts, but they're always really fun. But you just go to a community where there might be some competition, and you just say, "Hey, I want to work with some people on this competition." And you find 10 people willing to just take you in and work with you. And it's like the doors in so many of these communities are completely wide open. And I'm a true believer in nifty communities. Like it's unlike probably most, possibly any other tech or any other thing in existence where you can just jump into a group of people you've never met and suddenly have 10 friends who want to work with you on some interesting project. Like I've never experienced that before. And so I think we need to focus on those the parts of nifties that we need to share with the outside world. People who don't know each other, have no relation in any way,
Did
randomly
you say
on the
people or
internet.
people?
People.
Okay, just making sure.
It might have been a people community project. Whatever the case is, it's a public treasure hunt. Um, but whatever the case is, you know, coming together, not knowing each other, and then just taking each other in and working with people. I mean, working with each other just like you've known the person for a long time. So I think it's the sort of thing that's unique to Nifties, and we want to share that outward. Like we do kind of need to move past the flipping to make quick money situation.
Yeah.
Because that's can be unhealthy, and we certainly shouldn't be doing this like X versus Y thing other than on like a friendly. I mean, it could probably be friendly. If it was friendly, it would be fine. Like if there was people who were like, you know, apes versus punks, and then somebody made an ape versus punks game or
That's what I
something
was just thinking. Yeah, it's
just for
like,
fun.
well, like, why couldn't they? They're doing the mutants versus apes version. Like, it would be really cool if Larva Labs and Gargamel and the Bored Ape Yacht Club people could come up with something to say, hey, look, like, yes, some co-opetition is good, um, but and it's funny, right? Like because like you know, Mr. Carter, Beyonce's husband has a picture of his punk, and then Adidas Originals and Steph Curry. Like, there's value in both, and neither one is right. And the people at the top that really care, they probably either have both or one was more aesthetically pleasing to them. So, like, at the end of the day, it's fine. finding a community that you jive with, and like, we have a responsibility to not ruin that. Like, we got to
Mhm.
move past it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's, how many people would like love to own both? I think that's the real testament on why it's silly for those groups to be fighting. Just like you'd want to own both BTC and ETH, you wouldn't just pick one. I mean, anybody who has the means is going to want to own both an ape and a punk because they're both
Yeah.
cool in their own way. So I would definitely love to own one too.
If a
Um,
floor punk went below a floor ape, and I'm an idiot and I don't have multiple apes, but if I did, I would diversify. Like, the logical thing would say, if I had two apes and the floor of a punk somehow got close to an ape, I would automatically sell my lower ape and get a punk, and
mhm.
vice versa, right? Like,
Yep.
just because like diversification is key. Like, and I agree. I love Ethereum. Ethereum's proved so much, but just like there's different use cases for Bitcoin. I have Bitcoin and Ethereum, and so like, why can't we? Why not both?
Mhm.
It's all good.
Yep. For sure.
X copy.
This is the most disheartening news I've heard all day. Go ahead, hit me with it.
Hit me with your best shot. No, X copy did, and here's the good news. And I wanted to save the good news for you, but in a private Discord that I will not name, that might run with Schmevin, they sent out a link that for like 15 minutes, um, there was an Xcopy whitelist that opened, and tomorrow there will be. Oh, did I get kicked? I might have gotten kicked just now for bringing it up. But tomorrow,
Sometimes the channel list goes AWOL.
yeah,
You
yeah, I
might
hope
have just
so.
had a
Um, hold on. The yeah. So there's going to be an Xcopy whitelist tomorrow and it'll be a drawing, right? Like, not everyone's going to get in, but at some point in the future, Xcopy is going to be doing an announcement um, for a future drop, and obviously the supply of Xcopy will be higher than the drop. So right now it is the fewer drops, the super rares, etc. But tomorrow you have to re-verify and everything else. So if you are an afterburn guzzler or any Xcopy holder, I highly encourage you to get over to the Xcopy Discord and look at those details, because there will be a second chance at one point tomorrow.
oh man, I'm already in the Xcopy Discord.
You'll have to re-verify.
Okay,
I
I'll
haven't
have to
done
do
it
that.
yet.
Okay. Oh man, that one's going to be big. You think it's going to be a normal, more? Is it going to be? Have you heard any rumors on where it's? Okay, you
I don't
haven't.
know anything, but I can tell
Okay.
you this: if the supply is less than afterburn, and we know where afterburn is,
Oh
and
yeah, well then it's going to be higher than Afterburn.
I mean, here's the thing about Xcopy, right? Like, Xcopy and Nest Graphics are like the two best at controlling their supply right now. And I know, like, I'm gonna get in the same trap I always get in, because once again, Rafik, I'm sorry if you ever watch this. Like, I'm an idiot. Sorry that I ever said that you have supply issues. I didn't know you're gonna burn everything and create animated NFTs. But when you think about like supply and demand, like Xcopy and Xcopy and Nest Graphics are like the two best right now at controlling the supply that's being released into the market.
Yeah, that's true. Although I'd throw Beeple in there as he's recently pledged in his forum that he's going to start very tightly controlling supply. So that
Yeah,
might be a third competitor there. But that being said, Beeple
you're
is
you're
his
a
own
Beeple
beast.
maxi.
I am. That's true. I am a Beeple fanboy for sure. I'm also a Nest Graphics and an Xcopy fanboy for sure too. So
I'm trying to
yeah,
look at the cheapest.
I think Xcopy was around 20 to 25,000 yesterday because I
No,
looked.
I'm looking at the cheapest into the ether.
Oh, I think the floor on any Beeple is like around 40 to 50,000 right now. as annoying as it is to use dollars.
I
10
was gonna
ETH.
say 10 ETH.
Probably 10 ETH floor on Beeples right now.
Yeah, there's an offer on OpenSea right now for Into the Ether for 15. Let's answer Alpha Geek's question before we kind of get into the other news of the day. So, it's interesting. Alpha, the best example I can think of is Top Dog Beach Club, and like they didn't sell out immediately. It took them. Shout out to Abby and Paul. They're in Miami. Lawrence hung out with them last night. They came to the yacht event and everything. But we just met them and we liked the art. And dang it, that one. I actually think that like communities that have a strong support and they aren't sold out yet have a better chance than most communities that are just a pump
Splash in
pumping
the
them.
pans.
Yeah, because like if it sells out immediately and there's no community, there's no reason to stick around. But if people come and they're a part of it and it takes a week for it to sell out or 2 or 3 weeks to sell out, people stick around because they want to build the community for it and then it becomes a habit, right? 21 days to become a habit. They start keeping it around. And then from there, like those communities tend to thrive and, do a lot better. It's that's my recommendation is keep doing the community building, keep showing the value, do giveaways, get the people and, get them coming.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think focusing on, and I don't know if Alpha Geek is asking from the perspective of a creator or someone who's just involved in the community, but like if I was the creator of a community or creator of a project with a community and it had a great community but hadn't sold out, then I would say focus on real value, not like fake value. So like giveaways and that kind of thing are like temporary engagement, but stuff, whether it's some sort of staking approach or some sort of airdrop or some sort of additional functionality that you can add onto the project, maybe it's just missing a spark in order to get a wider audience. So I would say focus on, if you're a creator in a situation like that, I would say focus on real value, maybe some sort of customization or some kind of partnership with customizations. There was one thing I saw which is really interesting, and we're getting a little off topic right now, but I forget where I was. It was somewhere. I was in the Bored Ape Yacht Club Discord. I was hanging out in there a bit after the Adidas announcement, and someone shared this website called Nifty Tailor. I don't know if you've heard of it, but if you bring it up real fast, it's probably Nifty NFTtailor.io or something probably. Let me see.
What are you talking about?
It's pretty sweet. Anyway, I don't know what the website is, and it's clearly not niftytailor.io, but it's a sweet website where they have it hooked up to a bunch of different projects, and they have a bunch of different outfits created for those generative projects. And
like
so
10FTK?
It's like that, but it's just purely editing the image file, and it spits out your modified ape or whatever with whatever outfit you want on it, just as an image that you can copy and use as your profile. That's how those people are getting those apes that have the Adidas shirt on it.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Like that's how I got my suit when everyone suited up for Christie's.
How's the process? What'd you say?
All you do is you go to this site, you connect your various supported project, and then they just have a list of outfits, and they replace the generative art of your piece with one that has the outfit on it. And it's not a Nifty.
Is it free?
Yeah, it's free.
That's free.
It just spits out the image for you right there. So if you want to use
just
it,
screenshot it, boom.
Yep,
that's cool.
Yeah, so when we all suited up, like I had my ape that had a suit on. Yeah, and like when everyone was at Christie's,
that's really valuable. That's cool. Yeah. We should do one for like NFT NYC. I mean, is it that hard? Is it super hard, or is it easy to implement?
I think it's pretty easy.
I think it'd be easy. One layer and identify what.
Add outfits to Nifty Tailor. I think it's community driven because it has like in the list of outfits, it has the name of the person who made it.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep. I need to
that'd be
find it.
great for advertising.
Oh yeah, you can
That's
make your
great
own
for
little nifty
marketing.
culture ape. That's what I should do
Man,
next for my next.
that's
You could
so
do a
good
nifty
idea.
culture punk if you
We
wanted
need-
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Or be able to put it, or you can do something like with the frame around it, or you can just do
Mhm.
some different things. Every project should do at least every quarter, or there should be a company that specializes in it. Good
Maybe
idea.
nifty culture.
That's a good idea. That's
But
a good
anyway, so
idea.
that's an example of something where those projects integrated with that Nifty Tailor site, and it adds value to the project, and basically very little cost to do it, and good for the community, a cool thing for the community. So I think real tangible value like that, focus on those things.
Hell yeah.
How much mass did you buy?
How much mass did I buy?
Yes.
I personally bought 28, and then my wife bought one. Because I think that there's value in just owning a Nifty of pack, more than $400 worth.
I agree.
So
you're not worried about saturation of the market, man. He drops stuff all the time.
He does, but he also creates very good syncs. So like in online games,
like where your money just funnels to him, which you mean
well,
is a
no,
sink like that.
It's a concept of you have a faucet, you have faucets, and you have sinks, and you balance an economy by making the sink get rid of as much water as the faucet is putting into the sink. Then you have a nice balanced economy. And if you have a balanced economy, it doesn't matter how big the faucet is. The faucet can be incredibly wide if the sink drains very well. And so I think Pack has kind of, I was just as skeptical. Everything in the Nifty world, it's like, if you want to know like if it's good, I better have been pissed off or think it's crappy at some point.
But where does the sink of Pack?
It's
ash.
It's
I know it burns to ash, but people are going to want to buy something with that.
Well,
it has to be valuable in some way.
Briefly, and Mike can talk to this better than I can, but I just feel the urge to talk as usual. He bought 29 mass, but that's one. When he gets it, it's going to be one NFT.
One image, correct.
So in number of wallets, so it's not 250,000 NFTs.
Oh, I understand.
It's per wallet. So
26,000 ish.
Yeah, but then there's going to be the competitive arms race to buy it up. So then very quickly, I believe that there will be fewer than 10,000 mass within the first month of this thing being done, right?
We should track it. We should have
just think of, in order for everybody to acquire one, it would reduce the supply in half, which is kind of horrible way to phrase math. But let's say we end up with 30,000 wallets. If 15,000 people make one secondary purchase, then that cuts the supply in half. If 7,500 people make two secondary purchases, well, they'd have to make 4 secondary purchases. But whatever the case is, it's going to start getting weird. But a large group of people don't have to make very many purchases for the supply to drop really fast. And the ones that are going to be bought up at the highest margin are going to be those singletons. The thing about Pack 2, this drop 2, is you can only sell once, because once you sell, you're not going to be able to afford to buy back in, because most likely the amount that somebody convinces you to sell, if you're a 2 or a 3 and they convince you to buy and you think it's a good price, well, when you turn around a week later to rebuy, the only stuff that's going to be available are going to be like bigger. 7 or 8 mass.
Yeah. It makes sense. That's cool.
So it's going to be a really weird economic game theory situation.
And
if you look at cubes, a 5 cube is only worth about 40% more than a 1 cube. It's not worth 5x. It's worth about 40% more. So if you think about it, if the biggest mass is worth, I don't know, $1 million, then it's gonna, I mean, the lowest, they're gonna converge gradually.
I just bought 2. Malachi, did you buy any?
I did. I bought like 5, and Natalie bought 1.
See, I should have bought a couple ones.
I don't see how you can
Alicia
still
and me.
buy it. It's still open. It's only a little bit more.
Now it's against principle. I will not. I paid $2.99. Didn't you, or did you not?
I did because I bought a Poet so that I could buy it $2.99.
Nice.
So I got basically a half off Poet.
Good job. All right, sweet, good.
Hell yeah! How is Basel?
Art Basel. It's so hot right now.
You look like you've been out in the sun, man. You got a little bit of redness going on.
Dude, you've been traveling all day, right?
All day, man. I had like 3 hours of sleep.
Oh shoot, you're back home. I just now realized that's your Rafik in the background. Stupid.
Which, by the way, was the coolest exhibit.
Was it better?
Dude.
Natalie saw Alicia and she was like, what the hell? Like, she was pissed. She was like, that was like seeing the beach and the sand and the water and the Rafik.
Beautiful.
She was like, that had to have been breathtaking. I was like,
it was.
Oh yeah, but that's like one wall. We had 4 in New York. And she's
6.
Like, doesn't matter.
6. We had a cube.
Sorry, 6.
Right?
Yeah.
But it was awesome. That Rafik at night just blew up, man. It was so awesome. And you had people sitting there, Malachi, like a movie theater, just sitting on the sand watching it. It had that cool music, just and a really cool with deep bass. It was awesome. Very loud music. It was perfect. You know, it was a screen. It's not a projector. It's a screen. It's awesome. That was probably the best thing. And I had so many people at the party say, you know what, after even people who have been like to Art Basel multiple times. And they said the Rafik exhibit was by far one of the best ones they've ever seen.
That's awesome.
Yes. That really bridged the physical artists and the physical fans with something super new.
Well, I mean,
that was cool to see that.
You know, that's the common thread. You told us, John told us, everyone like that I've talked to privately was like, it was like 2 conferences that were like co-located in Miami, but like Art Basel overlapped to NFT. Like it was like this forced wall between them. And like we have an opportunity to help tear that wall down.
Yeah, but you know what? So Art Basel is just one of the conferences. There's multiple fairs throughout the area, and they're freaking far away, man. And traffic over Miami sucks. Took like 45 minutes to get everywhere. It sucked. We had one of our Ubers, dude, canceled on us like 4 times. It was crazy. Yeah. So, Art Basel, there was installations along the beach that called like
Scope.
Artist Untitled. Scope was another one, and these huge tents like on the beach. It was awesome. These big temporary tents that they built on the beach for galleries. And but as we walked the show, both Basel and Untitled Artists, I didn't go to Scope, but those 2, probably 2% NFT representation.
Oh man, that's like nothing.
2. That's what I'd say. You probably saw like 3 exhibitors, maybe, and and some of them just had a screen with one of their pieces on it. You know, it didn't look like it was. That's all they did. So
that's crazy,
right? But the NFT people had their own events.
Yeah.
So they had their own events and stuff like that. So it was that part. It was still a little too different. And I don't know if there was rules at Basel that people couldn't do it, or these other conventions that NFT they weren't welcome. I don't know. Because as you walk through those other galleries, it was pretty much standard fine art, physical fine art, sculpture, paintings, different types of mediums, things like that. So,
did you go and see Mark with Blackdove?
No, I didn't. Did he have no, I did not, because his party was the same night as our party was. Yeah.
Dang. Next time.
Competing parties.
Everyone was competing, apparently.
Dude.
It was nonstop partying.
Yes. But man, it was a good time. People were cool. You know, a lot of cool people. Overall fun event. I would recommend it.
I want to, like I always do on stream when I shouldn't. I want to have at least one meetup before the new year in North Texas. Maybe at the brewery,
Uh-oh.
maybe in Frisco. I don't know, but
Let's do it.
what do y'all think?
Let's do it. I was on a boat, and now we
I'm
can do
on a
another
boat,
one.
and
Yeah, that's exactly.
not
Dude, let me
not
tell
as
you,
like formal. Like we don't have to do like a pop up gallery. Although next year I do want to do a pop up gallery.
I think we should have a space where we do a pop-up gallery. Keep.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
But I don't know if we can get that done in the next 28 days. But I do know that we could get NFT freaks, we could get race. There's so many people in North Texas. We could do a DFW meetup, and I think that'd be a really cool way to end the year.
I like that. I like that.
That's cool.
Hmm.
December's always so busy, but it would be sweet.
So what?
What'd you say?
We're in? We're gonna
Yeah.
do it?
I don't know if we're totally in yet.
We're in.
Let's talk about it offline at least once.
LFG? All right, we'll talk offline once.
Dude, I kept it real for you with your Fio hat.
I'm gonna have to steal that back or go get another one.
Alicia wore it. I wore it. It was a hit. Dude, this is what I wore during the party so people could recognize me and say, come get me if I needed to go grab in security.
Oh, that
Bring him
works.
through. I was like, I'll be wearing my bright green hat. Perfect.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But man, everyone was there. It was a lot of fun. VR Future, got to talk to them. Niven, got to talk to him, hang out with him. All sorts of great new artists, a lot of nifty gateway people and folks and artists. So awesome time. I'll be having some pictures for you guys here soon too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Sweet.
to share.
Look forward to it.
Yes.
I know Mike has a hard stop, and we kind of went off like an offline. Like, how was the event?
Let me say one more thing real fast.
Go.
I only have a couple more minutes. Okay, there were 70,000 poets, and the floor is 1 ETH.
Okay.
And there's no way there's going to be 70,000 mass. There has to be.
Good. That's a good point, Mr. Mike. Very good point.
Yeah.
I think there was something like 53,000 wallets that have purchased so far.
Well, it was only 26,000 as of yesterday. I doubt it's gotten to 53,000.
Nifty
How do you
Gateway
know that?
updated. Nifty Gateway is telling everybody.
Oh, they're announcing how many it is?
Just the number of wallets and the amount that's of
On Discord or where?
On Twitter.
On Twitter.
Yeah, hold on.
Is that confirmed 53? That would be.
I just say numbers. Like anything I say, just like
I'm gonna guess it's around 35,000 right now.
I think
so. Half of Poet.
Hold on, let's go here.
Well, then just takes you right. One secondary sale for 50%, man. I mean, that's a great way of thinking about it.
Dang it! I need to like bookmark these. Okay, yeah. The last update was 70,020,000 wallets.
God. Yeah.
Wait, wallets? No, that's dollars.
20,000 wallets.
20,000
wallets. 70. Well, I've heard up to 26,000 throughout the day from other sources. I think it might have been from Pack on Pack's Discord.
4 hours ago, has Pack passed 250,000 yet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Somebody DC on our on YouTube just mentioned that it's 250,000 mass and 27K wallets. So
cool.
But that's 20 hours ago.
Okay.
Or is that?
So yeah,
when's it end?
That one, I think that one's pretty up to date.
Is it ending?
No, it ends tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Today is day 2. So yeah, there's still another day. Now there hasn't been the twist other than that today. Pack mentioned this
.png.
What was the name of the game?
That's the name of the game. Paper D, shout out. He retweeted some love. Those kid apes are beautiful. Did you guys see those?
It just changed to $500 each.
Oh, it just went up?
It just went up.
Yeah, every 6 hours it goes up.
So it just went up.
Got to get that FOMO. But he's going to have there's going to be a game involved apparently in 2022, some sort of game. It's not unclear if it's a unusual treasure hunt is what it says on the website, but
here's the thing: is like, I mean, the subversion is the only thing I worry about.
What do you mean?
Like, is everyone going to be happy with what happens? Like, the end of the second Star Wars of the last trilogy, right? It's like, you think it's going in one direction, and it's like, oh no, we're just going to throw everything out. Like,
how do people feel about cubes?
I think they're cool.
Because they're worth $40,000.
Well, so I mean, but that's a litmus test. Is if everybody who bought a cube is pretty happy with situation, one way or the other.
Here's the thing I have to keep telling myself. And this is one of the things that, like, swag, don't listen to me. I'm the only one with FOMO. Oh, I thought you were going to say FUD. No, like, here's the thing. With DeFi and Web3, you have to throw, like, traditional thought out. Like, even, y'all and Lauren were like, NFT culture should be the brand, not the ape. And I'm like, no, like, I have a badass ape. Like, when I'm on Twitter talking, when I'm on Spaces talking, I want to have my ape up. And we all agree that, like, NFT culture the brand. And then my wife is like, literally, like, hey, why are you wearing your ape hoodie, like, on stream all the time? And I'm like, because it's an ape. And I presented it to her as like, it's like me wearing Jordans, which I hate, but I wear a lot of Yeezys. Bro.
That's true. Yeezy.
Shout out.
I love it.
But then the next morning, literally less than 8 hours later, it's like Adidas Originals changes their PFP to a Bored Ape. And I'm like, that's affirmational. So, like, when you think about, like, what brands have to do in DeFi and Web3, it's completely different. And then, like, when you think about, like, supply and demand, we're in this really interesting point right now that's important for people to think about. Is, like, number one, the daily number of new interest in NFTs is parabolic. So there's new entrants every day. Number two, like, the innovation that is occurring is equally parabolic, maybe slightly less parabolic, but it's still on a curve. So the innovation curve may be a 45-degree angle, and, like, the new people entering the space may be a 60-degree angle. But for us to be like, hey, this is like traditional media is silly. And, like, that's the point, is, like, you have to say, like, okay, do I trust this artist? And there's probably 10 to 12 artists that I blindly trust. And Pac is one of them. And we talk about the ones we trust all the time. And that's why I went in on the artifact Takashi Murakami at 2 ETH. Like, there's just, you have a gut feeling. And if you're wrong, you're wrong.
So you got one, and John got, and Stadler got one. Yep. When's the reveal?
I don't know. A couple days.
What's the floor at?
I'm gonna hold my I'm gonna hold my tongue on that project.
Really?
Yes.
You didn't get one?
No.
Good.
Here's the thing. If Mike hates it, it goes parabolic.
It could, yeah. I mean, I haven't cleared my Metaverse curse yet, but I think Pac might clear it. But
dude, that's a lot of mass you bought.
It's all good.
That's a good purchase.
It's only 2 ETH. It's less than I put in for my Mecha.
True.
So
oh yeah, a lot less.
So yeah.
When are you gonna? What's your sale price for your Mecha?
I would probably sell it at 4 if it ever got to 4. I'm not going to wait for it to go all the way back up to 6.5 because that'll never happen. That was just a bad move. As soon as you couldn't get into the Discord because the Discord was full, then that's a sign that something sketch is going on. But okay, here's my problem with CloneX. Y'all beating it out of me.
Go.
We literally beat it out of you. You didn't
you believe me? Yes.
you got me talking about Metaverse. Now I have to rain on someone else's parade. Okay, it was just weird for them to shut shut the Dutch auction down. Like, they claimed that their server was getting DDoSed.
It was
and
GoDaddy.
Just GoDaddy was
No.
incidentally getting
I mean,
DDoSed?
like they're big. Like the biggest thing that's like, hey, maybe this is a bad project is like, hey, let's launch the project on GoDaddy.
Yeah, that's definitely like pretty janky. Like if you're looking to make $50 million, put your servers on AWS. You can afford it. Come on.
It's
But-
probably cheaper than GoDaddy to put it on
I know.
AWS.
Come on. Okay. That being said, I'm not going to cast tech judgment on them, but I do feel like if you're going to shut down a Dutch auction during overnight hours, then you better have a better explanation than our servers were getting attacked, because people are expecting that it's going to keep ticking down over those hours. Like it was quite a few ticks. It probably would have gotten down to 1 ETH. So they rewrote the rules of the game while the game was being played. And so I didn't like that aspect. I felt that was disingenuous. So that was enough for me to decide not to invest in it.
My counterpoint is Artifact has been somewhat altruistic. Not altruistic because they are for profit, but like Artifact has positioned themselves as kind of one of the beacons of the community, and like there is some nefarious looking stuff that went on with the contracts and some of the sales after the fact. So I don't want to be a blind loyalist, and as a holder of the project, I want to make sure that I hold them accountable as well. My whole thing in Art Blocks has done that before. My thing is like, look, I talk about way too often. Like Takashi Murakami I was gonna blindly buy whatever Takashi Murakami's first NFT was going to be. I was going to blindly hop in. And this being Takashi Murakami's first NFT, it's like, if I'm wrong, like, yes, it's an expensive mistake, very expensive mistake. But he hopped in with a team that does have a track record of launching things that were inexpensive, and the floor and everything else is like 7 ETH. Granted, the supply is like 20 grand. But then I looked at Meebits. There's 20,000 Meebits. The floor of the Meebits is 3.5. The innovation here, and one of the top 5, wealth creating artists of living artists that exists, who works with Billie Eilish, Kanye West, Kid Cudi, and everyone else, Louis Vuitton. It's like Takashi Murakami still is worth more than Beeple, right?
How many are there? 10,000?
20,000.
20,000?
Yeah.
Okay. How much?
Right now it's like 2.5 ETH.
Is that how much the mint price was or whatever?
Oh, the mint price. Well, that's the other issue that people hate, is like a big percentage of them were if you owned an Artifact piece, the mint price was 0.05.
Whoa.
And the Dutch auction started at 3.
Yeah.
ETH.
Okay, so I didn't talk about the other thing that they did, which was
real quick. Let me just finish my diatribe, and I'm going to just shut up.
Okay.
Takashi Murakami's 59 years old, right? Not the youngest artist in the world. So when you think about like all of those things combined, for me personally, Artifact has proven success. Takashi Murakami's proven success. First Takashi NFT growth. Like, that's why I was like, look, like I was going to buy it no matter what. And I'm glad that y'all and Paper D and Schwaz talked me out of buying it at 2.9, because I saved 0.9 ETH. So even if it goes to 0, I still saved 0.9 ETH because I was going to buy it no matter what. But I just, it's one of those things, like, to own a piece of that. What happens if something unfortunate did happen to Takashi? What happens, long term with these things? It's the first piece of, and y'all know I talked about him even before we were into NFTs. So like, or before I was into NFTs, but Rob was into NFTs when I was talking about Takashi. But I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of janky, not shady, but like stuff that looks weird from like a traditional drop. So I'll shut up now.
Even if that's $100 million, say it's $100 million that he brings in, Takashi, or say Pac brings in 70 million, The average movie grosses 129 million domestically and 243 million internationally. And people go to movies all the time. And there's movies all the time. So I'm thinking there's space to absorb this capital with this. Plus, it's better than going to the movie because you own it and you can trade it and it can go up with additional interest that continues with the, through the market. So,
I'm not going to jump into where I want to go with that.
Yeah, I have comments there too. Let's write that down.
Yeah. I give away too much of our intellectual property if I dive into that one too much. Yeah. I don't know if I really want to bring up my other counterpoint to the artifact drop. I think I'm gonna sit on it for now and just see how the art is received. Do you feel that the art that you've seen so far is true to Murakami's aesthetic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't show it.
I know.
But I'm gonna send y'all a link that I can't show because like it'll demonetize the video. But like, anyone that's here should just, if you're interested in like some of the stuff that Takashi Murakami has done, just Google Takashi Murakami, My Lonesome Cowboy. And like that is an example of what I'll put it in the private chat for y'all. But anyone else that wants to go look it up can see some of the creativity that Takashi Murakami has. So when I
okay,
and that sold for $15 million.
Oh geez, okay, but that style is very similar to these Clone X's.
Yeah, so like if anything,
that was a Beeple-esque.
if anything, I would say that like this is Takashi Murakami being like the penultimate Takashi Murakami. But like even if you look at like the cover for here, I'll pull this up just briefly. Like when you look at and I know you have to go, so we'll wrap with this real quick. If I can. Here, like you guys see my screen. So like this is a sample art for the graduation, the graduation album. You see that nose down there, you see the color of the bear. Like this has been his look.
That's Takashi did that?
Yes, Takashi did Kanye West's graduation album.
I love that album.
Yes.
I just bought a purple hoodie.
From late registration. Did he do graduation? I already typed in graduation. But yeah, so like that's Takashi's whole thing. Like it's like he's done so much stuff. Like, and that's why like for me, it's like the penultimate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I know I'm going off on a tangent. I always just keep going on my tangents, but I'll shut up now. But like for me personally, yeah, like if anything, like the Artifact Clone X project is like the most consistent thing in the vision of Takashi Murakami that I've seen.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna withhold any smack talking today, any like specific points that I feel are not so good, until we see how the art looks, and if it is true to him, and it does actually like seem like, it was about his art and not about cash grabbing, then I will just kill that one. But we'll see how it launches. I mean, I hope it turns out well. I think, that historical precedent is the pre-reveal price is the highest price for a while, but especially with a high volume project like this. But you know, you never know. It could just reveal and then climb indefinitely. We'll see. All right. I'm at the end of my line.
Oh, I was muted the whole time, but yeah, like real quick. So like that looks insane, right? But then
Yes.
like you look here at like he's wearing his squid hat. Like this is just Takashi being crazy, like Takashi. And so yeah, I suspect that like it's consistent. It's not for everybody, but Mike, I know you got to go. You stayed 15 minutes, 16 minutes longer than I thought you would be able to. So thank you.
No problem.
All right, Rob, any final thoughts?
Art Basil's so hot right now.
So hot right now.
That's all I could think when I was walking through it.
Nice.
Everyone was really, they had people with these crazy, people were wearing crazy stuff, crazy clothes or crazy hairs. You know, they had all those typical artist people, looking people.
So like cool. Takashi Murakami.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right. We got to go.
Next time.
We'll see you next week. Take care.